pulley into the motor, that's about where I would expect the distributor drive to be setting on number 1. You draw a line through the shorter half, shouldn't say half, but the shorter segment of the thing, it'll head right straight towards one of the studs on your fuel pump. When you get a distributor, if you get a new one, put your clamp on first. Otherwise, you're going to be pushing on that little O-ring, trying to get it past it, and it won't do it. It'll be hard to do. That's right. Leave your roller button off of it when you first get it. And once you get it lined up to put in with your O-ring, even lubed up, sometimes they're hard to get in, and you got to tap them in. So tap them on the side and be careful that you don't, that's why I say take your roller off, but you'll hit it, even though you don't think you will. All right. Now that you got it in there, you want to leave it as close as you can to number 1 cylinder. And you can turn it over to your cam lobe, which is, you got 4 lobes on your distributor. They'll hit it. And let's switch over there. All right. Get a little screwdriver. Now these Chinese ones, they use Phillips screws for some reason. Take these out. That way maybe you can see the cam better. This one's already lubricated. But you want to make sure you got some kind of a lube on it going around it. I usually put some on my finger and spin the whole thing. That way it coats it pretty good. But these Chinese ones and some of the other ones, you got to be careful of the washers falling off. Because if they go down in there, yes, you got to take them out. It'll screw something up. Grease them up so that they stick together. And on this particular one, but you know you're going to be working in a tight spot. If you've got a screw starter, those little things that hold the screws, makes it so much easier. You take your new points, set them down in there, find the hole, turn it over, and that's when the washer falls off. And run it down in there till it just starts to get snug.
And while you're doing this, you're unplugging all this stuff, right?
Oh, you've never plugged it in.
You haven't plugged it in. You're putting a whole new one in.
The key's off, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Key's off, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, when it's up on number 1 or whichever one you're closest to, you want 16 thousandths of an inch gap on it. And since it's Chinese, it doesn't have the little place for it to adjust.
It's got that little nub down.
Yeah, there's a little nub. Be the best way to describe it. This doesn't have it,
Right.
of course. So you get it to where go back over to the toolbox.
You're just eyeballing that right now. Right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I don't have my tool. If you're lucky enough to have found one of the old style filler gauges that's got the bend in it.
They have them with AutoZone.
With the bend in it?
Could you take a regular one and bend
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, it's easier with the bent one because of your location to get in there and figure out where you're at. Make sure it's clean. Don't put it in there if it's oily. Wipe it down with something. Then you can loosen it, and it closed. That one there just closed right up on it. Whether it stay or not. Well, I think it's staying pretty close. It's staying pretty close. Anyway, you got it on whatever cylinder you got it on, doesn't matter as long as it's not on 3. You don't want to use number 3 cam lobe because it's supposedly retarded 3 degrees. Whether it is or not on the Chinese ones, I don't know. I never actually, I guess you could test that with your timing line. You know. You want a little bit of a drag. This one's a little bit loose. Once you got it locked down, then you can put your wire back on it. So a lot of these you got to watch it, make sure there's not going to be any place where it's touching. And you put it all back together. While the distributor's still loose, and you know for sure you got the crank on number 1, I usually turn it back till it gets to 10 degrees advanced. Then I'll take the distributor and turn it back. Can't do it with that. Turn it back. Clockwise, thank you. Turn it counterclockwise. You can, if you listen close, you'll hear it pop, or you can pull number 1 plug wire up and watch it pop. And then you'll know you got it to where it's firing right when it gets to 10 degrees advance on 1. Lock it down, start it up, and make sure it stays there. And normally I don't want to go no more than 34 degrees. I like 32. They run good at 32 degrees full advance. If you don't have a degree wheel, you need one of those timing lights that's got an adjustable scale on it. They're, I think they're probably all right around $100, but it's a good investment because you can do all your tuning with it. You do your carburetor tuning if your ears get older, you can't really tell 50 to 100 RPM sound from the motor. You can watch it while you turn it. Any questions about distributors?
Why did they